Hello, good morning. The time here is about 6 a.m. thereabout, and just a quick update on what has been happening this week. In a nutshell, this week has been ranging. Today is the 10th of December 2020, and the dollar, which happens to be a major driver in the Forex market, has been ranging and hasn't given us any good opportunity. So that means that more or less no trade this week. And as we're saying this, we said already in a previous video that as we draw closer and closer to the Christmas period, the market would continue to thin out, and then we might probably have more sideways action, right? So this is the dollar index here, and you can see the market has been acting as support and resistance, and then yesterday, 9th of December, go back to that same area and then hit it, and now seems to be reacting to it. Who knows, today it might break out and then use that area as a launching pad to push higher, or it might just drop back to the lows of this year, and that's on the dollar index. But let's see how that goes. Only time will tell what the dollar index wants to do. For the Euro USD, especially because the dollar is weak, and of course that is going to be seen across board, we can see that we had like a sideways market here. And of course, even with the sideways market, we noticed that we had some okay, let me start from here. We had this high, had a lower high, and then we had another lower high. But well, it came back to test this lower high and then dropped, and then it broke out. But look at what's happening here. This is more or less a fake out as it's pushing back in. And of course, as the dollar is weak, Euro USD would continue to push higher. But everything for me is ranging, as I said earlier, nothing clear. And for me, this week is more or less over. Pound USD, more or less the same thing if you look at the structure of what we had here. This movement was from Monday, from all the confusion from Brexit, and Boris Johnson met with Ursula von der Leyen in Brussels yesterday. They had dinner. I think they're leaving everything till weekend or so, but for now, no conclusion on what the way forward is for the EU and UK marriage, right? Aussie USD, not so clean. Kiwi was structured than Aussie. You should already know that Aussie and Kiwi tend to move alike. And of course, the dollar Swiss tends to move in the opposite direction as to the Euro USD, right? So you can see the USDJPY, so far so good, has been a downtrend. Even as it's been a downtrend, it started to what? It started to range from around this area here, right? As it's ranging, you still have the same thing here with respect to this high, lower high, lower high. Then maybe we could have another lower high and then drop and then continue. Everything still boils down to what's happening with the dollar, as that's the major driving factor for the major currency pairs here, right? So moving along, dollar yen, nothing to write home about. Dollar CAD, for me, the cleanest of them all based on structure wise. But you know, for dollar CAD, we need to watch what's happening with respect to crude oil and also the dollar index. So for this now, you can see cleaner structure. We had this nice drop, and then it has been moving in a sideways market. The next thing for the market to do, especially as the trend is down, is for the trend to continue to drop. And we all know, based on crude, right, what's happening to the crude because of the news on the Pfizer. We're still waiting for the results, how things are going with the approval, with the implementation for UK. I think Canada now seems to be the second country that has approved the use of the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine. But let's see how it goes. It's still too early to expect Well, we pray for good news, but it's still too early. We have to wait to see how the testing goes, and hopefully no side effects, no reactions whatsoever that could scare us. Well, let me leave it that way so I don't scare myself as well, right? But basically, this is what we have right in front of us for the dollar card, and a major look here for dollar card would be the crude oil. What's happening to the crude? Crude is more or less sideways, more or less waiting for more news on what's happening with the coronavirus, and even the OPEC meetings, OPEC plus meetings that they might having, whether to cut productions and all. But we wait everything, and of course we let the charts guide us. Always let your chart guide you based on what is happening out there, right? And then finally, gold, right? Gold too has not been that clean, more or less. We had gold breakout of these highs. Immediately it broke out, it dropped all the way back to this area here. It's an area. We always regard it as an area and not a price point. So it did what? It came back to this area here of support, former support, and acted here also more or less as support, and then here as resistance. I can see as it came back, it pushed higher. It might still come back for another test and then push higher again. Who knows? Or it might just push higher. Who knows? Today, as I said, is the 10th of December and it's a Thursday. Most times towards the end of the week, the market tends to it's a profit-taking period, Thursday, Fridays, especially Fridays for traders, where they try to cash in for the week. So that means that we should have reversals. But of course, this week hasn't been that clean. We've been having a lot of sideways action thus far, a lot of sideways action in the market, and of course, nothing much to write home about. We'll try and do another update if anything good comes up. And if nothing, of course, it will be till next week. And as we draw closer once again to the festive period, expect more consolidation, more ranging in the market. And of course, that will not be favorable for us as the volatility tends to dry up, liquidity drops, to lows due to the period of holiday. Then most likely we might be closing shop until next year, second week of January, right? So it's been a pleasure. Just want to say thank you to everybody for paying attention. And of course, we would update you some more. Enjoy the rest of your day and trade safely. Use proper risk management. And of course, let there be visible, I say visible, stop loss, right? Mental stop loss most likely might not pay you at the end of the day. You might not be in front of your system, or you might have some issues, might be internet or your system, and then you are wondering where the market is, and anything can happen, right? Just as a side note, Donald Trump has not been as vocal as before, as he seems to be losing more legal battles as he just did in Pennsylvania. But Joe Biden already taking action, working on his cabinet, forming his team against his reign as the next POTUS. But let's see how things goes. This year was an interesting one across board for the coronavirus, for the US elections, Brexit, China. Don't worry, next video we'll talk about China and what has been happening with China and more or less what China seem to be trying to do. Okay, so it's a pleasure. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, right? Also hit the subscribe button so that you can get notifications on when we have new videos uploaded. Okay, thank you everybody. It's been a pleasure. Do enjoy the rest of your day and goodbye for now. Goodbye.